What's up, Gabriel? How you doing, man?
It's been a while, Joseph. It's
It
been a
has
moment.
been a while. It feels like we've been um it's been a really long time since we've done a podcast for some reason.
Yeah,
I I don't know if
we missed a release date there.
yeah.
You
it,
working overtime and well, that was the big thing. And your
yeah.
computer crapped out there.
Yeah. That's that's been crazy with work. We had like 4,200 pieces come in for us to deliver,
Yeah.
and then we've got this overtime going on. So he was like, "Do you want to work Sundays or do you want to work? Do you want to take your day off and you want to work that day?" And I was like, Psh, "I'm not working Sundays." So that happened, right?
Yeah.
And then you got all this Corona stuff happening.
Oh
So,
boy.
oh
Do you
yeah,
just want to do it? You just want to do a topic out of this?
yeah,
This here?
yeah.
All right. This is what we're doing.
So I don't know how it's affecting everybody else, but with my job, this is how it's affecting me. And Gabriel, you can hop in or whatever. You can put your 2 cents in there. So with my job, one of the things that scared us was that they closed down the borders because of the coronavirus.
The
So
borders of state borders?
yes, of Illinois. So that means a lot of our stuff gets made in Taiwan or Vietnam, right? And then it goes to the warehouse, the big warehouse in Wisconsin. And then once we order it, it gets shipped down from Wisconsin to Illinois so we can distribute it out. And so he was like, "Yep, the borders are closed." And we were like, "Are you kidding me? How are we gonna deliver our furniture?" So we're thinking we're gonna be out of a job for a month or however long, until we can get some trucks in, right?
Yeah.
So Friday, we get these trucks coming in. These two big semis roll in. We're sitting there praising the Lord. We're sitting there, oh my God, we get to work. We get to work. And so those two trucks come in. We go out and do our route, and then my phone blares. It makes that alarm sound, just blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what's going on? So I look at my phone, and it's the governor talking about he's going to quarantine the state. And I'm like, whoa, 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 what does that mean? And it's basically what happened. He's going to quarantine the state for 2 weeks. And so I was like, let me see if my job, what's my job's going to do, what my job's going to do. Well, the big boss of our company comes down and sits us down and it's like, we're going to let you guys off for 2 weeks with pay. And if the quarantine goes any longer than that, we're going to figure out what we're going to do at that point. But for right now, this is what we're doing. And now all of us are sitting there like, oh, man.
At
Like,
peace.
yeah. Yeah.
That'd be scary, man. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of people that I know, they're losing their jobs. Like,
Yeah.
there's a guy, he works in for one of the hospitals here, and he's the IT guy, got fired. And I was like, why did you fire him? You're going to need him when all this is over. I don't know when it's going to be over, but you're going to need him back.
Yeah. I hear a
Um,
lot of companies are laying people off.
Yeah, and what I've also found out too is like people like McDonald's, they're saying like, hey, Glinda and Aaron, y'all fired because we're gonna have Squanto over here. He gonna do both y'all jobs. So y'all fired, and we gonna have Squanto do your job. And so McDonald's and places like that, they're finding a lot of people and having this one employee doing all these jobs so they can save money. So this is crazy, and it's kind of scary, at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Scary? It's
Yes,
scary?
yes, a little scary.
Okay. You want to go to work. You need the money.
hmm
You can't, nothing's free. But at the same time, if you go out and you get somebody sick, that's on you.
Yeah, and that's the crazy thing. I was just talking to my aunt, and I said, it's not gonna hurt us. It's like people within their, like their early 20s to like their 60s or whatever. They're fine.
I
But
heard a
it's
case of even somebody at 45.
45.
Yeah.
Well, it also depends on your immune system too. So like my sister, she has cerebral palsy, so she would be affected by it, or somebody with somebody who just has a poor immune system, it'll affect you.
Yeah.
But what I found out is if you're healthy, you have an immune system, and you're within that certain age bracket, you're not immune to it. You will get it, but it won't affect you to the point of death.
But what about the people who don't have those things?
Well, those are the people that are they can recover from it, but more of them are passing away due to the virus. So so basically we're spreaders because we'll get it, we'll get sick, we'll get over it, and then those couple of weeks we don't know that we have it, we're passing it around and stuff like that, which what I find funny, man?
What do you find funny, Joseph?
So a lot of the people who are afraid about this virus are young people, right? Our age,
Yeah,
those are the people but the people that aren't afraid of it are a lot of the older people. I can't tell you how many older people that I've, like, with me delivering furniture, I've gone to their house and we're like, they get there and they want to shake your hand, and I even had one guy, I had my gloves on, because the company was like,
plastic
you guys
gloves?
gotta wear, yeah, these
Okay.
plastic gloves. We had to wear these gloves so that we wouldn't pass it if we had it, And so we had this one guy. He was talking to my partner. He was looked at him. He said, "Shake my hand like a man. Take them gloves off."
Really?
Like, yeah. He was just like, I was like, dude, I could be the reason you're getting ready to die here, and you want me to take my gloves off? I mean, come on, man. I know you're not afraid of it, but I just think it's kind of funny because these old guys, their mindsets are, I fought in World War II and I fought in Nam, and I've been over all these pandemics. This thing can't hurt me. And it's like, but this virus is literally killing people of your age group. Like, take all the precautions you need.
I've been catching up on projects, a lot of video games. I've already went through 2 games already that's been on hold forever. It's just like, oh, I'll do that on a time when I can, when it'd be fit to do it, but I could just never find the time. But now in this time of quarantine, apocalypse, I got up this morning and it was 39 degrees outside. I typically don't ride my motorcycle past 60, maybe 55 if I've been really holding it in for a while. But I got it out today at 39 degrees. Just a little bit above. There was still snow out in the fields because yesterday it snowed. I rode it into town and went over to our neighbor's house. They were absent. They were on vacation. Went and milked their goats. And it was great, getting off the bike, running over there to the goats, wrap your hands around their goat teats and milking them. They're all jumping around. They're like, quit touching me with those cold hands. But yeah, I haven't socialized with anybody, like physically. Haven't gone and seen anybody. It's just really weird.
It's super weird. I mean, and I was mistaken. There were 236 new cases of coronavirus, and there's only 3 deaths here in the state of Illinois.
Okay.
And that was today. That was updated today.
This is reported today as of,
yes.
What is this, January 23rd? January 23rd.
March
Holy crap.
23rd.
March 23rd. I'm sorry.
January 23rd. One of my buddies at work, he pulled up this map, and a lot of these cases are up near Chicago.
Yeah.
Right? So in northern
It
Illinois,
would make
this
sense
is where,
that way.
yeah, because there's just a lot more people there. So up north, that's where most of our cases are, and then you come south of that, there's not that many cases. Now, I don't want to sound like I'm a bad guy or selfish or anything, But why you gotta close the whole state down if just the northern part of Illinois is, just they've got more and more cases up there?
I think you know the answer to it.
Yeah, I understand, but it's just like it seems there was I was hearing I know the whole reason why we're doing it. I know why we're quarantining, so we don't spread the virus more, faster, and so that our hospitals can keep up with the people that actually have it,
That is the reason.
But, I was talking, there was this other guy, he was talking about. Now, this ain't my way of thinking. I'm just trying to get all this information in. But this guy was like, he said, yeah, there was another pandemic or whatever. He's like, why can't we just keep the people that are affected by it in, and then the people who will not be affected, they don't do the quarantine. And I was like, that kind of makes sense, but at the same time, that would be a little unfair to the people that can get the epidemic.
Well, anybody can get it.
Well, yeah,
It's
I mean, anybody
who's going to live and who isn't going to live. That's your balance. And
yeah,
and then again, it's like you said, overwhelming hospitals. Ventilators are on demand. What was it? New York wanted something of like 1,300 ventilators, or that's what they had on hand, and they want something of like another like several thousand. I don't have any numbers. I don't remember, but it was ridiculous. There's all these people who are like, we need more, and we can't. Everybody's needing it. Everybody needs it. It's like toilet paper. You can't find toilet paper anywhere.
You know what? That's what I was just getting ready to talk about. Gabriel, you know what pisses me off?
People who say we're going to do a podcast and then drop the audio halfway through it.
First of all, that was not my fault.
I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. Non-functional computers.
Let me just go down this rabbit trail right quick before we get back on topic here. So, if you want to know what Gabriel and I are talking about, we were going to do an episode, which is we've already done. So we've got that one going. But what happened was, my audio dropped out right when it was getting good.
Disappeared. Absolutely gone. As soon as the thing started opening up, Joseph's, we ended the episode. We all had the goosebumps. We're like, this is going to be a bomb episode. And Joseph, in a quiet, tail between the leg voice, I don't have that audio anymore. You don't have what? I lost the audio. My computer just quit halfway through. Like as soon as it went, all right, Gabriel, we're going to talk about conspiracy and then it stopped right then. Right then. I'm like, you didn't like maybe accidentally hit the stop record button.
Now, you guys might think we're crazy, but this is the thing. The first part of the podcast, I got the first 15 minutes of it.
It's a conspiracy, Joseph.
Yes. I don't
know what to say about this.
I actually had I was saving this because there was the guy we were going to have on for the conspiracy theory.
Yes.
So I said hold on a second. I said let me dabble in the conspiracy theories. I said I'm not an expert or anything, so I said let me dabble in this, right? He said okay. He said go. I said hold on, let me see if I can remember. I said, what if the government created the coronavirus so that let me remember. So that so they could they can get the economy where they want it to be. You know what I'm saying? So
no idea what you're saying.
So let's say financially, the government's not where they want to be at point A, or they want to be at point B, but they haven't reached it yet. They're still at point A. So they're like, how do we get this?
I'm not catching you.
Well, what?
Why would you want to tank the economy? Why would you want to tank the world economy?
No, you wouldn't want to tank it. They want to. So my thing was, they're not making as much money as they thought like they would want to. Right. So
you think they goofed up and let out the coronavirus? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they would put people in. See, I told you I'm not a very good conspiracy theorist. I really didn't think about it. This was just one of the things that just popped in my head, and I just started rambling. And
You're one of the sheep that just goes with the main story.
Yeah. But I was like, what if the government? I was like, man, I said, what if the government they had this coronavirus and they start quarantining everybody, and they said we're gonna give you all this money, right? And then y'all go out there and y'all spend this money, and then you know what happens, man?
What happens?
The economy gets to the point that the government wants it to be at. It's not where it's at now. It's at a higher level. So now these government officials, man, they getting paid more, and they doing this and they doing that, and they don't care how many people died and all that, man. That's what I was and so I'm sitting there doing all this, just messing around.
Sure.
And Terrence he's sitting there, he like, yeah. Yeah, man, that make real good sense. That make good sense. I'm just like, dude, I am sitting here just bull crapping. I'm just throwing stuff. You know how when I start a story and I just go crazy with it and start saying all these
like the video I sent you this morning. It just starts off with,
but
you're stuck in my truck.
we gotta put that on like the Reddit or Facebook. Oh my god, that was a good video. But
it just showed up in my feed this morning, or maybe I dug for it. I don't know. One of those. I've spent a lot of time on YouTube the last few days.
Yeah, me too. So what I was getting ready to say with all this going on, so a lot of people are looking at this quarantine and looking at it as kind of a bad thing. Me, I'm looking at it. There's so much I can do now. I have so much time.
Me too.
Like people are like, man, we ain't working for 2 weeks. I'm like, I could spend more time with my wife. My yard needs to be cleaned up. My car ain't working. I said I can go and look at my car, get that all fixed up. I said I got 2 weeks, and then you know what? The weather's starting to. Yeah,
get the
hold on.
podcast going.
I was like, I told one of the guys, I said, you know what? I'm gonna be doing so much podcasts. I said we're gonna have like eight months of material. That's how much we're gonna be podcasting.
You think so?
Nah, nope. I don't think we're gonna be doing that. Because I've got these, we've got these good days coming, man. We're gonna be in the 60s and the 50s later this week.
Riding
with
every
no
day.
Rain.
Every day.
Man,
it's nice
man,
like that. I will be on my motorcycle.
Man, I gotta get out there. I'm just so you know about my bearings with my car, how they sound like a Velociraptor out of Jurassic Park.
It happens. It happens when bearings go out.
Well, I was like, what if it's not my bearings? Because that
great noise.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things is riding down the street and it sounds like that. So I'm driving down the street and there's this guy. Yeah, no. There's this guy on North Grand. He was walking out from this construction site, and he was talking to this guy behind him, and he heard my car, and he looked at me like I was Satan, and I was coming after him. Like he was like,
"How bad is it getting?"
It's bad, dude.
How long has it been? Because I heard your car is always having some sort of mechanical issue. It's a Ford.
You know what? No, I've had this car for 5 years, and this is the worst it's ever been, and this is just me not getting it fixed. You know,
sure.
It's me being lazy and not getting it fixed, and now it's getting to a point. Like I said, it sounds like a Velociraptor. I won't even do Lyft now because it embarrasses me. It embarrasses me so much. I don't even like driving home from work because you get all these people looking at me like, man,
weird.
That guy need to get his car fixed. Oh, remember that one last time we went riding over there on Wachowski?
Oh gosh, yeah.
So
I'll let you tell this one.
So when Gabriel and I go riding, he always leads. I know where I'm going, but he always leads because he picks out the hazards. I'm fairly new to riding, as you can tell from our first podcast. So he'll do like a shoulder shrug, or he'll hit his brakes or something to let me know there's a hazard up. So this whole time we're going down this road, it's windy, it's got gravel on there, we've got cars, we can't see, and so Gabriel, he's hitting his brake and he's just pumping his shoulders the whole time. We almost got hit once or twice, I forget. So for somebody going around the curb.
I didn't know we were talking about this story. I thought about the time when we both got the bikes out and none of our stuff was registered, and a cop pulled up behind us.
That's the same story. So that's so we were because that was after we went down Winowski or whatever the road's called.
Tice Road, wasn't it?
That's where we. So we're riding on the this main road where. What is it, Petersburg? Sorry,
yeah,
my computer went out for a little bit, so I was like, oh Lord. So we're riding on Tice Road, and so Gabriel and I, this was our first ride. He's got the new bike. My bike just got fixed, so we started riding without any registration or anything.
We're just so excited because it was the nicest day of the year.
Yes.
Nice. What was it? Probably 67 degrees out that day.
Yeah, I mean, because I was I was getting hot in my long sleeves that I had.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a warm day, beautiful day, sun shining. So we went out riding, and we see this white car, and Gabriel, he just gives me the sign. He's like, "Let's go," and I'm like, "Oh, what are we doing?" And then I see in my mirror this white car, and I'm like, "Oh crap!" We just start going like crazy, and then we almost get done riding, and there's this other white car, and we just start panicking again. And it wasn't a cop, but man, just that rushing of adrenaline, it's just. I mean, with even with like us redoing the Mitosis song, make a music video about it, but just make it like real dramatic, like it's one of those 90 boy bands things.
Or have like the delay effect. This is the Mitosis song. And we're gonna sing it all day long.
That is something that I really want to get on this podcast and play it, the Mitosis song, maybe just a little snippet of it.
Hey,
but
I could just play this right now. Really, like, ready, set.
Okay, go.
Chromatins are attached at the centromere. It's where the spindle fibers form in the cytoplasm. The nuclear envelope has disappeared, and the spindle fibers attached to the sister chromatins. Metaphase is the middle stage. All the sister chromatids are pulled along the spindle apparatus towards the center of the cell, and they line up in the middle of the cell.
Prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase inside of kinesis. Metaphase, anaphase, and telophase inside of kinesis. Mitosis.
That was so bad and so good at the same time.
Oh man, that was great. I miss doing that song. I mean, so basically with that song, because you heard us screaming at the end of it.
Yeah.
Basically, it was Sarah, Billy, and I. Because so we were sitting there, we were trying to figure out. I got Sarah saying, "Oh, I want it to be a rap," and I was like, "Let's just do this." So I just started strumming 4 chords, right?
Yep.
I started strumming, and then we had came up with those first lyrics, the first lyrics to it. This is the Mitosis song. So we started singing that, and then Sarah literally had the textbook open, and she was reading what
fumbled a few words there.
Yeah, dude, I was even watching the video. Yeah, really acts. We were on our way from Indiana, and I was typing up the stuff for the video, and so I messed up a little bit. But what's real? The reason why you hear us screaming at the end of that song is because we did that in one take. We did the playing the music. I'm sitting there playing the music. We got a mic. Sarah is reading the textbook, and it's all in one take. And so you hear us screaming. I'm like, we're done. I'm not doing it again.
I put no effort into that video, though. You realize that?
Oh, Gabriel.
I didn't do anything. I gave you 4 chords. I was like, yeah, we could just do these chords. And so you went along with it. You and Billy turned it into like whatever it was. And Sarah was back there while Abby and I were playing GTA on the couch.
Yeah, that pissed me off because okay, so we're at this
You
house.
did her assignment for
yes,
her.
yes. They were at my apartment. Gabriel and Abir and everybody else are sitting there at my house eating my free pizza that I bought for everybody.
Oh yeah, because you're a garbage man ripping tabs off things. $5 off pizza.
Yes.
Well, I have 50 of them, so
Yeah, you guys are playing my video games, and you got me, Billy, and Sarah in Billy's room sitting there trying to figure out what the heck we're gonna do for this goddamn thing. And then she was like, when we were getting ready to film, she's like, I want you to film it. I was like, you know what? I've done everything, and I'm done with this project. I said, you film it. I said, if you don't film it, it's gonna be my video. So I made her film it, but you and Joy were the best part about that whole video.
I love it how she threw that apple at me. Like I'm okay. I am terribly discoordinated. I cannot catch anything to save my life. But when it comes to that apple, I felt so good because we did it all in one take.
It was freaking amazing. So I watched the first outtake of it. So like the first video we did, and then we did the second one. The first one,
Did we
she
do a first
threw
video?
it. Yeah, we did the first video. She threw it, you caught it, right? But you didn't take a bite out of it, right?
Yeah.
So then the second time, you're sitting there, it was she knew she was going to throw it, and I think you knew you were going to catch it, but the way that it happened, it was you were strumming, she threw the ball, or she threw the apple midair. You're still strumming. It's halfway to you. You drop. You like stop strumming. Grab the apple. Take a bite out of it. Start strumming again. And then on the actual video, like not with the music, you hear me now. Leave, Gabriel, and you just get out of there, man. It was like it was crazy. It was excelente. But we had spent so much time, we had a short amount of time, and she had procrastinated so much that we had to really just do it really quick.
The deal was if you just made a video, I mean, it could have just been a slideshow with your face in it, and it would have passed. But
yeah,
it was good. It was good.
But here's the thing, Gabriel.
What's that?
That video they show every single year at Calvary.
No.
Yes.
No.
So the teacher says.
No.
The teacher says, here's an example of how you guys should do your mitosis project. And she shows the video, and then the kids, they base their stuff off of that. So
my face is in that.
It lives on.
There was oh my gosh, dude! That makes sense. I was at work, and this lady comes in. And she's like, "I know you from somewhere," and I kind of remembered her. She was one of the younger kids that Tim hung out with when they're at school. And she's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "You go to Calvary?" She's like, "Oh yeah, that's where I know you from." I'm like, I never interacted with you. You should have no memory of me. How do you know me? That would make sense. That would. Oh my gosh.
It's super funny because my favorite thing about that part was that
famous.
we were getting ready to do the movie, right?
Yeah.
We're getting ready to do the video, and we have these kids that go to that school. There's some like Tim and Rachel's friends, and then we were like, "Hey, you guys want to be in a video?" And they were like, "Yeah." And so we did the first take, and then we said, "This is what you want to do." And then the second take, they were like. They did it, and I'm like, wow, I don't know any of these kids, and they will forever be in this video. Like, also too, my last thing I'm gonna say about this video, another one of my favorite parts is where, so in the song, Billy has his own. He reads his last part about cytokinesis, or no, he reads about mitosis,
and he gets up, and then Timothy stands over him.
Yes, and Timothy, he was so mad. I said, hey, no. I said it'd be funnier if Tim did it, because Tim was little Tim at the time.
Oh
he
yeah,
had this high squeaky voice
and a little haircut, and he's like, little Tim.
Yeah,
little Tim plays for days and a maze.
And so I was like, I was even like, I said, hey Tim, I said, if we ever do the mitosis video, I said,
hey,
could you actually do it this
Tim
time
listens to
with
this
your deep
podcast,
voice?
right?
Yeah.
Hey,
So,
Tim, what's up?
Shout out to
Shout out to my boy,
brother-in-law, Timothy. I'll have to tell him. I say, hey Tim, listen to episode 6.
No. Don't
okay,
tell him that. Just let him. Just let it happen. Just let it happen.
Just let it happen. All right, we're just letting it happen.
The code word is pineapple sauce.
Pineapple sauce.
Pineapple juice.
No, no. I was just getting ready to say our little thing that we say, but I don't know. I didn't want you to bleep me out again.
No, we can't have a bleep ever. Like.
So we really didn't. I was listening to the first episode, and we really never talked about the band too much. I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah,
we skip
go
over
for
that. So we. If you remember from episode 1, we really started talking about how we got the band going and stuff. But see, I'm one of those passionate kind of people. You know, Gabriel, how passionate I am about what I get into, right? So I don't
know if I'm comfortable talking about you in passion.
You know what? This is a different kind of passion. You know, I'm not talking about like one of those Spanish speaking movies where they're like, "Señorita, come lay with me." No, not like that. Yeah. El fuego en mis pantalones.
Cosa cojones.
I don't even know what you said.
I don't either.
Muchas gracias. So you know how passionate I get. Like I just when I'm doing something, I got to do it full force. So I don't know if you were there for that night, but I felt like I was at a movie. Everybody was just messing around in the band. I was just getting frustrated, and I was like, guys, I was like, this is serious to me. I have a dream of where we want to be, and I am super serious about this.
Like,
and if you guys are not super serious about this, get out.
I said, were because not married at the time.
No, I was not.
You had a girlfriend, and it wasn't even like that serious. You weren't even engaged.
Yeah, and I was super hyped up about this band. I was getting ready to cry. I was like, I don't want to see this thing fail because almost everything I do fails. And I was just like, looking back at it, the band failed. It was just like almost everything that happens, you know. Everybody just dropped off the face of the map. I had a guy go to the military. I had a guy who wouldn't show up. Sarah wouldn't show up. My wife was there, but then she did a play. Well, she was my girlfriend at the time, but she did the play. Gabriel, he was just like a prima donna. No, he wasn't a prima donna. He was just, there was a lot of things we were doing that I don't want to say you didn't agree with. Did you agree with, or you just were annoyed by a lot of things that were going on?
I like to be functional. As just get it done right now as I possibly can be. I say that, but I procrastinate a lot. But with the band, it just wasn't what I was wanting it to be. I was just wanting to be like, we come here, we make a song, we leave. Good stuff happens every time. It seemed every time we showed up, it was more just like, hey, let's just hang out, man. Let's just not do anything. I'm like, we're killing a lot of time here.
Yeah, and that was my thing too. We
had to drive like 45 minutes to just one way to get there.
Yeah, and we could never get into Clayton's garage because I thought, man, I said like
Clayton's
that was
awesome.
Oh yeah, it was. Who was it? Me, you, Brendan, and Clayton.
Yeah,
and that was that day we just rocked out. I had a beer in me. Gabriel, nobody's supposed to know about that song. I don't know what you're talking about either, but it was such a fun day that we did for that. I recorded it, but it was freaking crazy because that's when you were doing that. And then you've got Clayton. He's going with that doom chicka doom chicka doom chicka doom. He was going right, but then he was being stupid. Every time the camera would pan over to him off my phone, he would stop. And then I would pan away from him, and then he would go again, and I would pan over to him again. He would stop. I was like, God dang it, Clayton! He's getting married.
What?
Yeah, Clayton's getting married, man.
No.
Yeah,
little Clayton's gonna get married.
Yeah. Out of all the kids that I actually trained him when I worked at the Y, and out of all the kids that I've taught and helped get to a point, because I like to give advice to a lot of people. Out of all the people that I've tried to help out. He's the one I'm proud of, man, because he was this kid who's been working just working super, super hard, and he's working at the hospital now. He broke up with this one girl who was just really tearing him down. He's got a new girl, and he's engaged to her. They're both working at the hospital. They're both making bank. I mean, like I told you, every time I talk to Clayton, man, this guy's like, I'm like, where you at today? I'm in Tennessee. Where you at today? I'm in Hawaii. Where you at today? I'm in Texas. I'm like, how'd you pay for that? Oh, we've got a plane in there. You know, they fly for places for the weekend, you know. Like, he works his butt off. Like, I got him on Snapchat. We'll Snapchat every day, always at the hospital. And then, like, you know, 4 out of those 5 days, that man, he'll just take a week or so off, and that's where he's at. He's at somewhere with him and his girl, and I'm just like, Jesus, like, I want that.
Yeah.
But he's doing super good, man. I'm super proud of him, you know,
Good deal.
just with what he was doing. And, you know, I was jealous of you when you went to Europe, man, because I was like, I would love to go there.
Yeah.
Man,
We can talk about that in the next podcast.
Gotcha. If you guys like this conversation, you can follow us on Facebook at The Joe Show, right? Gabriel, where can they find us on Reddit?
Joseph, you remember that meme I sent you about
What meme?
no one, literally no one at all, and then 20-year-old white males? Let's start a podcast. I felt really called out on that.
You felt really called out on that?
Yeah.
Well,
so you can find us on Reddit at The Joe Show or on Patreon at r/GabrielandJoe.com/Joe and Gabriel.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/Joe
and Gabriel.
See, that's why we
Come
made a
on
song.
now.
It wasn't for you guys. It was for us.
Yeah, so we can remember how to say it. Because, you know, it's easy for us to do Facebook and Reddit and the website.
Yeah. 'cause
Which the website is
the Joe
www.tjs.show.
And the URL for Patreon is, again,
Yeah.
patreon.com/.
Joe and Gabriel.
Bam.
So, that's the show. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey, thanks for listening.